KREM 2 Morning News begins now.
Welcome in, everyone. Let's get right to, actually, first we're going to talk about the school district's budget that they're talking about bringing back laid off teachers before the new school year. We'll break down who's affected by the decisions.
And there's a live look at downtown. Actually, a cloudy start to the day today, but we do have some showers rolling through some of our southern viewing area. We'll look at that in a moment.
The way they advertise violent video games in stores. Join our live poll this morning and tell us if you think the company should ban these types of games altogether. Head to KREM.com/vote to weigh in. Good morning, everyone. We start with breaking news. There is a police presence right in downtown Spokane right now. You'll want to avoid the areas in North Division Street near Riverfront Park. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is there now. Let's get right to her. Nicole, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Tim, so there are dozens of officers down here right now. We just saw a dive team actually go down towards the river. I'll let you take a look at this scene because there is so much to see right now. But we are on the north side of the bank near the Spokane River near Division Street. And like I said earlier, there is a dive team that just went down towards the river. There was a canine unit that went that way also. All of the officers seem to be looking towards the river for whoever they're searching for right now. Earlier, there was also a helicopter circling, pointing its light around all this entire area. Now, we were on the Division Street Bridge earlier, and there were 5-6 cop cars, and we saw them speeding back and forth in each direction, trying to figure out where this person they're looking for is. One car sped past us, and one of the cops got out and was going up and over the railing of the bridge, and now it looks like they're focusing their attention here near the bank of the river. So our thought at this point is someone is either in the river, near the river. There were dive teams going down there. We don't know much at this point, but that is what we're seeing right now. As for the Division Street Bridge, traffic is down to one lane there. Looks like right now some EMTs are pulling in a gurney right now. I'm sure they're preparing for any situation that could happen here near the river, but we'll make sure to keep you guys updated with any new information as we get it. I'll send it back to you, Tim.
Again, this is a developing situation. You'll hear first of any new updates inside the new KREM 2 app. All right, we are starting our rush block with a look at air quality this morning. Right now, air quality is at moderate with an index of 63. So for perspective, the air quality index is ranked between 0 and 500. A ranking between 51 to 100 qualifies the air quality index as moderate and shows up in the air quality maps as yellow. Here's what yesterday's Spokane sky looked like compared to what it looks like this morning. You can see there on the left, that's a live look at the conditions today. The message today, though, is be careful with any outdoor activities, especially for people who might be unusually sensitive. The air quality index for Coeur d'Alene is also moderate at a 55. This puts them closer to having good air quality index if they drop below 50. We'll be checking in on air quality in our area again at 6 o'clock. Thomas?
Good morning, Tim. And yeah, the air quality should improve thanks to rainfall in the area. Your morning commute has some scattered showers, mostly in our southern areas right now. And as we look at Doppler radar, yeah, it's moving through the Palouse quite nicely. So areas like Moscow and Pullman seeing the heaviest rain at the moment. And I'll be tracking how much more rain will be in our forecast, not only today, but both days over the weekend. Tim?
Thomas, thank you. The bell will ring in just a few weeks for the kiddos as they head back to school. A big shock earlier this year, though, when Spokane schools announced nearly 200 teachers would be getting laid off. Now, after months of debate and discussion, our Casey Decker has more on the latest school board proposal.
Here were the holdups at the last meeting that stopped the budget from passing. Board members were concerned about elementary early release every Friday, combined grade classrooms, and cuts to custodians. To varying degrees, they've now worked out potential solutions for those problems.
Last year, there were early releases for elementary schoolers on 12 different Fridays. This year, the district proposed making that every Friday to provide consistency for teachers and families and to save a bit of money. The board wasn't fond of that idea, but it looks like it'll probably happen anyway. The reason why? Restoring full Fridays would have required an incredibly complicated shuffling process, affecting hundreds of teachers only days before school starts. So the current plan is early release every Friday. But there's also a new addition. addition, the district is now looking to expand after-school programs on Fridays too. For those combined grade classrooms, the board is now considering recalling 11 classroom teachers who've been laid off. They'd be used to reduce the number of combo classes from around 60 to more like 30. Another half dozen teachers could be recalled as well. Once kids are assigned their classrooms, if there are any that are basically overflowing, those teachers could be brought in to relieve that pressure. And finally, custodians. That department was one of the heaviest hit in the entire district. The board now wants to lay off 7 fewer custodians than expected and maybe bring back more in future years. So how does this all affect some of our key bottom line numbers? Back in April, there were 142 staff cuts. That number could now be down to 67. And of the 183 teachers laid off, that could now be as low as 15.
Helping to do all of this, a levy increase. The district stands to get a little more money next year thanks to the state lifting the rate cap. It can now go back to what voters previously approved. But again, none of this is a done deal yet. The board is set to vote on this proposal next Wednesday. In the studio, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
Here are the top stories before you start your day. The Williams Flats fire burning on the Colville Reservation is continuing to grow. It has now grown to 40,000 acres and is 25% contained. There are level 3 evacuations in place for all areas southwest of Wilmot Creek to Whitestone Lookout Road. There are new level 2 evacuations for people who live in the Wilmot Creek drainage area. Also, level 2 evacuation notices for the one resident in Hellgate Ranch. NASA is sending planes into our region to check out our wildfire smoke. The smoke allows scientists to gain perspective of how different fires impact the environment. The planes are equipped with machines that take chemical measurements of wildfire smoke. Researchers are investigating the smoke to learn more about its health and climate impacts. The research data will be published in about a year. New this morning, Providence Healthcare just gave a $1 million grant to Spokane Parks Foundation. The money will be used to create an enriching play space to support the physical, social, and emotional needs of all ages and disabilities. The space will include areas for play, quiet spaces, and relaxing and exploring. A name has not been decided quite yet, but a nature theme has been selected. It will be in Spokane's Riverfront Park. Initial groundbreaking is expected this fall with completion in fall of 2020. Another shooting scare at a Walmart, this time in Springfield, Missouri. A man was arrested Thursday after walking into a Walmart with a rifle, body armor, and military-style clothes. Police say the suspect was confronted at gunpoint by an off-duty firefighter. The firefighter held him at gunpoint until officers arrived. He says he's hopeful by stepping in, he prevented something terrible from happening.
I've been in public safety for a long time, and even though I'm no longer in public safety, I still feel that I can still protect people if I need to, and that was my intention. Hopefully my actions prevented something like El Paso from happening.
Springfield police tweeted that an armed individual was confronted and arrested. No shots were fired and no injuries were reported. Authorities say the suspect will be charged, but the exact crimes have not been released. In light of recent news, Walmart could suddenly become a whole lot less busy this back-to-school shopping season. The nation's largest teachers union is threatening to call for a boycott of Walmart over the retailer's gun sales. The labor group also wants Walmart to stop making financial contributions to politicians who oppose gun control. A spokesman for Walmart said the company has no plans to change its gun policies. It's not clear when the boycott would begin, but it could be significant. The union pointed out that it has 1.7 million members. They say their teachers spend an average of $500 on school supplies a year. Well, this morning we have been asking you, do you think stores should stop selling violent video games? We want to know what you think. Head to krem.com/vote or click on the in the KREM 2 app, click on the Vote Now tab in our new app. All right, that's your Rush Block. Today's big headlines from here in the Inland Northwest. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood. Head to KREM 2's Facebook page and send us a message. Now let's check in with meteorologist Thomas Patrick for the one thing you need to know.
Yeah, and the one thing you need to know heading into the weekend is the rainfall. And it's not just today, it's for the next 3 days. And coming up, I'll detail what will happen rainfall-wise over those next 3 days, that in your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, good morning, and it's time for your Speed Feed stories you'll probably see on your social media this morning. So 25 years ago, a little show called Friends came out, and to celebrate, Legos announced their fans can now build their own Central Perk coffee shop, and the inner child in everyone is going crazy on the internet. The gifts are out of control this morning. They're showing Joey with that slow clap, and of course a multitude of Rachel and Phoebe reacts. The set includes recreations of the famous orange couch, the minifigures. All the characters will be included the coffee shop worker Gunther, and it looks like parents on Twitter will be adding these Legos to their Christmas list. There's those gifts right there. A couple of them have said, sorry nephews, these Legos are for myself. And a mom said she wouldn't mind building this set, telling her kids that maybe those friends are superheroes instead. You can grab the set September 1st in Lego stores and online for $59.99. Well, a group of mothers in Alabama came together for a photo shoot to celebrate their child born after a miscarriage. Now, rainbow mamas are those who have experienced pregnancy or infant loss and have a subsequent child. This video on Facebook captures beautiful moments of moms and their children dressed up in colors of the rainbow. These women are embracing the rainbow baby concept as a way to further the conversation around miscarriages. Each of them held onto a balloon to remember the babies they lost and share in the hope as a rainbow is after a storm. So right now it's 5:43, Tim. We'll send it back to you.
Dana Marie, thank you so much. Well, still ahead this morning, the NFL has officially kicked off. Coming up, how the Seahawks and some former Coug quarterbacks performed. This story coming up in about 7 minutes.
Come at 6, one of your biggest pet peeves made by your significant other is not doing their chores well, but according to a new study, they may be doing that on purpose. We'll explain that in the next 45 minutes.